I've been an ER nurse for 6 years. I've seen gunshot wounds, car accidents, heart attacks, strokes. I've seen people fight for their lives, and I've seen people lose. But I've never seen anything like what happened that Tuesday night. I work at Mercy General Hospital, the ER, night shift, where the worst cases come through. And on November 14th, at 9:47 p.m., the worst case of my career walked through those doors. Actually, she didn't walk. She was wheeled. On a gurney, 8 years old, unconscious, bleeding. Her name was Alice Brown, and she had about 10 minutes to live. Have you ever witnessed someone do something impossible? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more stories about unlikely heroes, hidden talents, and moments that change everything, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss our next story. It started like any other Tuesday. Busy, but manageable. 3 patients in beds, 2 waiting rooms, standard injuries. Nothing critical. I was restocking supplies when the ambulance radio crackled. Mercy General, this is Unit 47. We have a pediatric trauma, 8-year-old female, MVA, high-speed collision, unconscious, vitals unstable, ETA 3 minutes. MVA, motor vehicle accident, pediatric, a child. My stomach dropped. Dr. Graham, our attending, looked up. Casey, Prep Trauma 1, page Dr. Fabre. I moved fast. Trauma room ready, monitors on, IV lines prepped, surgical tray. Dr. Fabre, our trauma surgeon, was not in the building. The doors burst open, paramedics wheeling in a small body. Too small. A little girl, dark hair, pale, so pale. Behind them, a woman, mid-30s, blood on her clothes, screaming, "Alice, my baby, please!" Security grabbed her gently. "Ma'am, let them work. That's my daughter. Please save her." I focused, pushed emotion down. We had a job to do. The paramedics transferred Alice to our table, started rattling vitals. BP 80/50 and dropping, heart rate 140, shallow breathing, GCS 6, suspected internal bleeding, possible splenic rupture. Dr. Graham moved in, hands on her abdomen, pressed gently. Alice didn't respond. Not good. "Get me an ultrasound. Now." Dr. Graham's voice was steady, but I heard the edge. I wheeled over the portable ultrasound. He pressed the wand to her abdomen. The screen showed what we feared. Free fluid. Lots of it. Blood pooling in her abdominal cavity. Splenic laceration. Severe. She needs surgery. Where's Fabre? I checked my pager. Stuck on the expressway. Multi-car pileup. He's 20 minutes out. 20 minutes? Dr. Graham looked at Alice. At the monitors. At the blood pressure dropping. She doesn't have 20 minutes. "Can we stabilize her until—" "I can try. But Casey, she's bleeding out. Internally. If we don't operate soon—" He didn't finish. Didn't need to. I looked at the little girl. 8 years old. Someone's daughter. Someone's entire world. And we were losing her. Dr. Graham worked fast. Fluids, medication, trying to keep her pressure up. But it kept dropping. 90/60, 85/55, 80/50. "She's decompensating," I said. "I know. Can you operate?" "I'm an ER physician, not a surgeon. I can stabilize. I can't do a splenectomy." "What about Dr. Jones? Dr. Okafor?" "Jones is in surgery. Critical case. Okafor's at Northwestern tonight. Coverage." I looked around the ER. 3 other doctors. All residents. None qualified for this. We were out of options. Alice's mother was at the door, security holding her back but barely. "Is she going to be okay? Please tell me she's going to be okay." Dr. Graham looked at me. We both knew. Alice was going to die. Not because we didn't care, but because we didn't have a surgeon. And she didn't have time. "I'll call Northwestern," I said. "See if someone can come. They're 30 minutes away, minimum." 30 minutes. She had 5, maybe less. I wanted to scream, to punch something, to make this not be happening. Instead, I held Alice's small hand, checked her IV, did my job, while she slipped away. Then I heard it. A voice, quiet, from the corner of the room. "I can do it." I turned. The night janitor, standing there with his mop, gray hair, weathered face, quiet eyes that always seemed sad. He'd worked here for 2 years, always polite, always invisible. The kind of person you see every day but never really notice. "Isaiah," Dr. Graham said gently. "Not now. We need the room clear." "I can stabilize her." Isaiah's voice was steady, calm. "Stop the bleeding until Fabre arrives." Dr. Graham stared. "What?" "I know what's wrong with her. Splenic laceration, grade 4. She's bleeding into her peritoneal cavity. If you don't clamp the splenic artery, she'll be dead in 5 minutes." Silence. Dr. Graham and I exchanged looks. How did a janitor know that? "Isaiah," I said carefully. "How do you—" "I can save her." He looked at Alice, then at us. "I've done this before." "You're not a doctor," Dr. Graham said. "No." Isaiah met his eyes. "I'm not." "Then you can't." "I can. And she's out of time." Dr. Graham hesitated, looked at the monitors, at Alice's dropping pressure. I watched Isaiah and saw something I'd never noticed before. The way he stood, the way he assessed the situation, the certainty in his eyes. This was someone who knew exactly what he was doing. "Where did you learn this?" I asked. Isaiah's jaw tightened. "In prison." The words hung in the air. Prison. Dr. Graham took a step back. "You were incarcerated?" "Stateville, 15 years. Medical wing." Isaiah's voice didn't waver. "I assisted in hundreds of surgeries, stabbings, gunshot wounds, trauma worse than this. I know what I'm doing." "That's not— you can't just—" Dr. Graham looked at me, at Alice, at the impossible situation. Alice's pressure dropped again. 75/45. Her mother screamed. "Do something, please." Isaiah stepped forward. "I can stabilize her. Keep her alive until Fabre gets here. But you need to decide now." "If I let you do this—" Dr. Graham's voice shook. "If anything goes wrong—" "It won't." "You can't promise that." "Neither can you. But I'm her only chance." I looked at Alice. At this tiny girl who'd probably been playing with dolls that morning, going to school, living her life. And now she was dying. Because we were following rules. Protocol. Proper procedure. "Do it," I said. Both men looked at me. "Casey," Dr. Graham started. "She's going to die if we wait. You know it. I know it. Isaiah." I looked at him. Really looked. "Can you save her?" "Yes." One word. Absolute certainty. I nodded. "Then save her." Dr. Graham closed his eyes, made an impossible decision. Okay, but Casey, you assist, and if anything goes wrong, we stop immediately." "Understood," Isaiah said. He moved to the sink, washed his hands, thoroughly, methodically, like he'd done it 1,000 times. Because maybe he had. The moment he stepped to that table, he transformed. Posture changed, voice changed, everything changed. The janitor disappeared, and someone else emerged. "Scalpel," he said. Calm, authoritative. I handed it to him. He made the incision. Clean, precise, textbook. "Retractor." I provided it. He worked. Fast, but controlled. No wasted movement. Dr. Graham watched. Silent, stunned. "Suction," Isaiah said. I suctioned blood from the surgical field. He exposed the spleen, found the laceration. There, grade 4, worse than I thought. The capsules completely disrupted. He worked with absolute focus, hands steady, no hesitation. I'd seen residents shake during procedures like this. Attendings sweat. Isaiah showed nothing but concentration. "Clamp," he said. I handed him the vascular clamp. He applied it to the splenic artery. The bleeding slowed, then stopped. Alice's pressure stabilized, 80/50. Holding. "Pressure's up," I reported. Isaiah didn't respond, just kept working, securing the clamp, making sure it would hold. Minutes passed, felt like hours. Then he stepped back. "She's stable. The clamp will hold until Fabre can do the splenectomy." Dr. Graham checked Alice's vitals, looked at the surgical site. Perfect. Textbook. Exactly what a trained surgeon would do. "Who the hell are you?" Dr. Graham whispered. Before Isaiah could answer, the doors burst open. Dr. Fabre, finally, out of breath. "I got here as fast as—" He stopped, saw the surgical field. "Who did this?" Everyone looked at Isaiah, still standing there, bloody gloves, calm expression. "The janitor," Dr. Graham said, voice hollow. Fabre stared, then moved to the table, examined Isaiah's work. His expression changed, from confusion to shock to something like respect. This is excellent work, professional. Who are you?" Isaiah pulled off his gloves. "I'm no one. She's all yours, doctor." And he turned to leave. "Wait." I grabbed his arm. "You can't just—" He looked at me, those sad eyes. "Thank you for trusting me, Casey." And he walked out. Dr. Fabre finished the surgery, removed Alice's spleen, closed her up. She'd live, because of Isaiah. Her mother collapsed in relief when we told her. "Can I see him? The man who saved her? I need to thank him." I looked for Isaiah, found him in the supply closet, mopping, like nothing had happened. "Isaiah." He didn't look up. "Is she okay?" "She's stable, in recovery. She'll make it, because of you." He nodded, kept mopping. "Her mother wants to thank you." "No need." "Isaiah." "I did what needed to be done, that's all." I sat on a supply cart, watched him work. "You said you learned in prison. Stateville." "Yes." "Why were you there?" He stopped mopping, looked at me. "Does it matter?" "I'm just curious." He leaned on the mop, sighed. "I was a surgeon, 20 years ago, ER trauma, like Fabre." My heart skipped. "You were a doctor?" "I was. Until I wasn't." "What happened?" "I killed someone. That's what the court said. Manslaughter. 15 years. I felt cold. "Did you?" "The patient died. That's true. Whether I killed him?" He shook his head. "It's complicated." "Uncomplicate it." He studied me, deciding whether to trust. Then he told me. 20 years ago. Isaiah Turner was a trauma surgeon at Northwestern. Good reputation, skilled, respected. One night, busy ER, multiple emergencies. Patient came in. Stabbing victim. Multiple wounds. Critical. Isaiah operated. Did everything right. Everything by the book. Patient died anyway, because the wounds were too severe, too much damage, too much blood loss. But the patient's family didn't accept that. The patient was Damian Cortez, son of Alderman Victor Cortez. Powerful. Connected. The family claimed negligence, malpractice, demanded justice. The DA, running for re-election, saw an opportunity. High-profile case. Sympathetic victim. Defendant who looked good in handcuffs. They charged Isaiah with manslaughter. His lawyer was overworked, pushed for a plea. But Isaiah refused. He hadn't done anything wrong. The trial was a nightmare. Expert witnesses, paid by the prosecution, claimed Isaiah made mistakes. The defense couldn't afford better experts. The jury, influenced by media, by the Cortez family's grief, convicted. 15 years. Isaiah lost everything: his license, his career, his life. In prison, he ended up in the medical wing. The prison doctor, Dr. Reeves, recognized his skills. Let him assist. Teach other inmates. Save lives. Isaiah spent 15 years using his gifts in the worst conditions imaginable. When he got out, he tried to get his license back. But a felony conviction made that impossible. No hospital would hire him. Not as a doctor. Not as a nurse. Not even as a tech. The only job he could get was janitorial. So he mopped floors, cleaned rooms, stayed close to medicine even if he couldn't practice it. Until tonight, when a child needed him, and he broke every rule to save her. I sat there, absorbing his story. You were innocent. The jury disagreed. The jury was wrong. Maybe. But it doesn't change anything. I'm still a felon. Still can't practice medicine. That's not fair. He smiled. Sad. Life rarely is. Isaiah, Casey, thank you for trusting me tonight. But please, don't make this bigger than it is. I saved a life. That's what matters. The rest, he shrugged. The rest is just history. He picked up his mop and went back to work. I couldn't let it go. That night I went home, couldn't sleep, opened my laptop, started searching. Isaiah Turner Surgeon Manslaughter, Chicago. Articles from 20 years ago appeared. Doctor convicted in patient death. Surgeon gets 15 years for negligence. Cortez family finds justice. I read everything. The trial coverage, the testimony, the verdict. And the more I read, the more wrong it felt. The mistakes the prosecution claimed Isaiah made weren't mistakes. They were judgment calls, reasonable decisions in an emergency. The patient's injuries were catastrophic. Multiple witnesses said so. But the expert witness, Dr. Harold Kramer, claimed Isaiah should have done things differently. I looked up Dr. Kramer, retired now. But at the time, he was testifying in multiple malpractice cases, always for the prosecution, always for money. I found an article from 5 years ago. Kramer had been sanctioned for false testimony in another case. His credibility was shot. But 20 years ago, he'd helped convict Isaiah. I dug deeper. Found the original medical examiner's report. It said the patient's wounds were non-survivable, but that wasn't mentioned in the trial. Why? I found the name of Isaiah's defense attorney, public defender, overworked, handling 30 cases at once. He'd done the minimum, nothing more. Isaiah never had a real chance. The next morning I went to the hospital, found Isaiah in the break room, eating a sandwich. You were set up, I said. He looked up. Casey? I read everything, the trial, the testimony. The expert witness was a fraud. Your lawyer didn't defend you. The ME's report said the injuries were non-survivable, but that wasn't entered into evidence. You were railroaded. It was 20 years ago. That doesn't make it right. Casey, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but it's over. I served my time. It's done. It's not done. You can't practice medicine because of a wrongful conviction. I practice when I need to, like last night. Last night could get you arrested again, practicing without a license. He smiled, bitter. Then maybe I should stop. Or maybe we fix this. There's nothing to fix. The door opened. Dr. Graham walked in. Saw us. Isaiah, we need to talk. My stomach dropped. Hospital administration heard about last night. They have questions. I can explain, I started. I'm sure you can. But they want to speak to Isaiah. Isaiah stood, calm, resigned. I understand. The meeting was in the hospital administrator's office. Mr. Gregory Sullivan, 50s, expensive suit. The kind of man who cared more about lawsuits than lives. Dr. Graham was there, Dr. Fabre, me, and Isaiah. Sullivan sat behind his massive desk, steepled his fingers. Mr. Turner, is it true that you performed a medical procedure on a patient last night? I stabilized a dying child until a surgeon could arrive, Isaiah said. Calm. no apology in his voice. You're not a doctor. No, sir, I don't have a license. You're not a nurse, not a paramedic, not licensed in any medical capacity. That's correct. Then you practiced medicine illegally. Do you understand how serious that is? I understand that a child would be dead if I hadn't. Sullivan's jaw tightened. That's not the point. That's exactly the point, Dr. Fabre interrupted. Alice Brown would have died. I was stuck in traffic. No other surgeon was available. Isaiah's intervention saved her life. And exposed this hospital to massive liability, Sullivan shot back. If anything had gone wrong, it didn't, Dr. Graham said. His technique was flawless, professional, frankly better than some residents I've supervised, because he's been practicing medicine without a license. For how long, Mr. Turner? Last night was the first time in 2 years, Isaiah said, since I started working here. But you practiced in prison, in the medical wing, under supervision, for 15 years. Sullivan pulled out a file. I have your background check here. Convicted of manslaughter. 15 years at Stateville. You lied on your application. I answered every question honestly. I disclosed my conviction. I was hired as a janitor. Nothing more. And yet you're performing surgeries in my ER. Your ER needed help. I provided it. You broke the law. I saved a life. The two men stared at each other. Sullivan spoke first. Mr. Turner, you're terminated, effective immediately. Security will escort you from the building. No, I said. Everyone looked at me. Casey, Dr. Graham started. No, this is wrong. Isaiah saved Alice. He should be thanked, not fired. He broke the law, an unjust law. He was wrongfully convicted 20 years ago. His medical license was taken from him because of a corrupt prosecution. And now you're punishing him for having the skill and courage to save a child when no one else could. Sullivan's expression hardened. Ms. Williams, this doesn't concern you. It absolutely concerns me. I was there. I assisted. If you're firing him, fire me too. Casey, don't, Isaiah said quietly. I'm not letting this happen. This isn't your fight. Yes, it is. I looked at Sullivan. Isaiah Turner is one of the best surgeons I've ever worked with, and I've worked with dozens. What he did last night was heroic. If you fire him for that, you're telling every employee here that policy matters more than lives. Policy exists for a reason. And sometimes, Dr. Fabre said, the right thing to do is break policy. I reviewed Isaiah's work. It was textbook. Perfect. If I had done that procedure myself, I couldn't have done it better. This man has a gift. And you're throwing it away because of paperwork. Sullivan stood. This meeting is over. Mr. Turner, you're dismissed. Dr. Graham, Dr. Fabre, Ms. Williams, get back to work. What about Alice's mother? I asked. She wants to thank Isaiah. Are you going to tell her the man who saved her daughter was fired? Sullivan's expression flickered. That's none of her concern. It's absolutely her concern. Her daughter is alive because of him. And if she decides to sue because an unqualified janitor operated on her child, she won't. You can't know that. Then ask her. She's in the waiting room right now. Sullivan hesitated. I pressed. If you're going to fire Isaiah, at least have the courage to tell Alice's mother why. Tell her you care more about liability than the man who saved her daughter's life. Long silence. Sullivan sat down, rubbed his temples. Get out. All of you. Except Turner. My heart sank. Mr. Sullivan, out. Now. We waited outside. Dr. Graham paced. Dr. Fabre checked his phone. I stared at the closed door. 20 minutes later, it opened. Isaiah walked out, expression unreadable. What happened? I asked. I'm fired, effective immediately. My heart broke. Isaiah? It's okay, Casey, I expected this. It's not okay, this is... The door opened again. Sullivan appeared. Ms. Williams. A word. I followed him back inside. He sat. gestured for me to do the same. You care about this, he said. Not a question. Yes. Why? Because it's right. Isaiah saved a life. He shouldn't be punished for that. You understand the hospital's position, the legal risk. I understand you're more worried about lawsuits than doing the right thing. His jaw tightened. That's not fair, isn't it? Silence. Then Sullivan sighed. Alice Brown's mother is asking to see Mr. Turner. She wants to thank him personally. If I don't let her, she'll want to know why. And then the media will find out. Hospital fires hero janitor. Do you know what that headline would do to us? So you're keeping him for PR? I'm considering options. If Turner stays, he stays as a janitor. Nothing more. And if he ever practices medicine again without authorization, he's gone. Immediately. No discussion. It wasn't justice, but it was something. Okay, I said. But, Sullivan continued, there might be another option. What option? I have a call in to the state medical board, explaining the situation, asking if there's any way to reinstate someone with Turner's circumstances. I stared. You're trying to get his license back? I'm exploring options, that's all. Don't tell him. I don't want to give false hope. These things take time, years maybe, and it might not work at all. But you're trying. I'm trying. Now get back to work. I found Isaiah outside, sitting on a bench, looking at the night sky. You're still employed, I said. He looked at me, surprised. What? Sullivan's letting you stay, as a janitor, on the condition that you never practice medicine without authorization again. He said that? Yes, but Isaiah, Alice's mother wants to see you. His expression softened. I don't need... She does. Come on. Alice's mother, Lisa Brown, was in the waiting room, exhausted, tearful, grateful. When she saw Isaiah, she stood, ran to him, hugged him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She was sobbing. They told me what you did, how you saved her. I don't know how to repay you. You don't need to, Isaiah said gently. I'm just glad she's okay. Can I see her? Lisa asked me. She's in recovery, still sedated, but you can sit with her. Lisa turned back to Isaiah. Will you come? I want her to know who saved her when she wakes up. Isaiah hesitated. I don't think that's... Please. He looked at me. I nodded. Okay, he said. For a minute. Alice was in ICU, small in the big bed, tubes and wires, but breathing. Alive. Lisa sat beside her, held her hand. Isaiah stood in the doorway, watching. She loves butterflies, Lisa said, talks about them constantly, wants to be a lepidopterist when she grows up. She laughed through tears. I had to look up what that meant. A person who studies butterflies, Isaiah said quietly. Yes, she's obsessed. Has butterfly posters all over her room. Books about migrations and life cycles. Lisa looked at him. She's going to have so many more years to study them now. Because of you. Isaiah didn't respond, just watched the little girl breathe. I was driving, Lisa whispered. When it happened, the other driver ran a red light. Drunk. But I keep thinking, if I'd been more careful, if I'd seen him coming, if I'd... It wasn't your fault, Isaiah said firmly. You didn't cause this. But she's my daughter. I'm supposed to protect her. You did. You got her to the hospital. You advocated for her. You did everything right. Lisa wiped her eyes. How do you know? Because I've seen parents who don't. You're not one of them. They sat in silence, watching Alice. Then Alice stirred, eyes fluttering open. Mom! Small voice, confused. I'm here, baby. I'm here. What happened? You were in an accident. But you're okay now. The doctors fixed you. Alice looked around, Saw Isaiah. Who's that? Lisa smiled. That's the man who saved your life. Alice blinked, studied Isaiah. Thank you. Isaiah smiled. Real smile. First one I'd seen. You're welcome, Alice. Alice's eyes closed. Within seconds, she was asleep. Lisa looked at Isaiah. Thank you doesn't feel like enough. It's more than enough. We left them there. Mother and daughter. Together. Alive. 3 days later, the media found out. Janitor saves child in dramatic ER surgery. The story exploded. News vans outside the hospital. Reporters everywhere. Social media going crazy. Isaiah tried to hide. But Lisa Brown did an interview. This man saved my daughter's life. And the hospital tried to fire him for it. That's not right. Public outrage. Donations. A GoFundMe that raised $200,000 in 2 days for Isaiah Turner's legal defense and medical license reinstatement. Lawyers contacted us, pro bono, offering to help. A journalist, Rebecca Hill, started investigating Isaiah's original case, found the same inconsistencies I had, published an exposé. Was Isaiah Turner wrongfully convicted? New evidence suggests yes. The story detailed the paid expert, the inadequate defense, the political pressure. The Innocence Project reached out, took his case. Within weeks, they'd filed a motion to overturn his conviction. Isaiah didn't want any of it. The attention, the publicity, the hope. It won't change anything, he told me. It already has, I said. 6 months later, I was in the courtroom. So was Isaiah. Lisa Brown, Alice, fully recovered, wearing a butterfly shirt. Dr. Graham, Dr. Fabre, even Mr. Sullivan. The judge, Honorable Patricia Delgado, reviewed the evidence, the new testimony, the recantation from one of the original witnesses who'd been pressured to lie. The proof that Dr. Kramer had been paid to testify falsely. She spoke for 20 minutes, detailed the failures, the corruption, the injustice. Then, the conviction is hereby vacated. Mr. Turner, you are exonerated. The courtroom erupted. Isaiah sat there, stunned, silent. Lisa hugged him. Alice gave him a drawing she'd made, butterflies emerging from chrysalises. You're free, I whispered. He nodded, tears in his eyes. Thank you. 18 months after that night in the ER, Isaiah Turner walked into Mercy General Hospital. Not as a janitor, as a medical consultant. His license had been restored, after review, after evaluation, after proving he'd maintained his skills. He couldn't operate independently yet, but he could work under supervision, assist, teach, contribute. It wasn't everything, but it was something, and it was more than he'd had in 20 years. I found him in the ER, first day, scrubs instead of janitor's uniform, badge that said, Dr. Isaiah Turner, medical consultant. How does it feel? I asked. Strange. Good. Terrifying. You'll be fine. You're a doctor, Isaiah. You always were. Now you just have the badge to prove it. An ambulance arrived. Paramedics wheeling in a trauma patient. Dr. Fabre appeared. Isaiah, we need hands. Isaiah looked at me, then at the patient, and moved. Not as a janitor, not as a convict, not as someone hiding his gifts, as a doctor. Doing what he was always meant to do. Saving lives. Have you ever witnessed someone do something impossible? Share your thoughts, your stories of wrongful convictions, and your moments of unlikely heroism in the comments below. If this story about second chances, hidden talents, and justice delayed but not denied moved you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about unlikely heroes, broken systems, and the courage to do what's right no matter the cost. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss our next story. Thanks for watching, and we see you in the next one.